Hey y'all. Okay, I want to show y'all this. I've actually kind of been, debating on this for the last 24 hours, since yesterday, because of the nature of this article. But however, I feel that it's very important to share this with anyone that might not have seen this, might not be aware of things that are going on. Okay. What I've noticed is there's been a lot of deaths, especially for young children, like teenagers, and young adults that are caused by their so-called friends. Okay. And what I'm about to show y'all is an ultimate case of frenemies. It's really sad because the ones that these young people think that are their best friends or people that they have grown up with or known their whole lives are the ones that are taking their lives or have something to do with their death. And it's just getting more and more common. And I don't really know, I don't really know how to deal with this, A lot of us have children, we have kids, we have relatives who are children or teenagers, and it's just, you know, every time you turn around, another child is losing their life, and it's sad, and it's things that could have been prevented, a lot of things that could have been prevented. But this story that I'm about to show y'all, this young man, okay, he had been missing. He had been missing for a few days, and it was found out that he had gotten killed by his friend that he had known since he was a child, his childhood friend, someone he grew up with. The boy and his brother, his older brother, the boy that this young man right here grew up with was 16. They were the same age. The 16-year-old and the 21-year-old, which was his brother, they lured this young man into the woods for a camping trip, and he never came out of the woods. They took him there, they beat him, they raped him, and they killed him. Okay? And I want to go ahead and give a short notice before I read anything in this article, because it is a very, a pretty detailed article. Okay, it does go into some details, and that's why I've been sitting on it for the last, day. I've been just sitting here debating because, like I said, the nature of it, I don't want to upset anyone. If you get upset easily or whatever and you feel like you can't watch, then I'm giving you the chance now to go ahead and click off and not watch it, okay? Or not listen to this. It says Washington teen was lured into woods for camping trip before friend allegedly raped and killed him. The Washington 16-year-old, who police allege was raped and beaten to death by his childhood friend and the friend's brother, was lured into the woods on the premise of a camping trip and then assaulted for up to 45 minutes, according to charging documents obtained by People. The Lewis County Sheriff's Office has charged Jonathan Adamson, 21, and his 16-year-old brother, Benito Marquez, with first-degree rape and murder in the death of Benjamin Eastman, who was last seen alive on June 23rd before his body was found in a shallow grave on June 28th on a remote parcel of land owned by Marquez's relative. According to the charging documents, Marquez, who is being charged as an adult, was a childhood friend of Ben's. He and his brother allegedly lured Ben into the woods for a camping trip on June 24th, but then knocked him to the ground and assaulted him for approximately 20 to 45 minutes. The charging documents allege Adamson told he and Marquez sexually assaulted Ben with a stick while he was still alive. Before burying Ben, the brothers allegedly beat him in the head with a rock to ensure that he was dead. The brothers were also charged with tampering with physical evidence and unlawful disposal of remains and are currently held on a $10 million bail. Information about whether they have entered a plea or retained attorneys was not immediately available. Now let me just tell you real quick, each one of these boys has a $10 million bond, okay? So in order to get both of them out, it's $20 million. Looks like they'll be sitting there. And what happened, I saw in another article, the police had not, excluded, they went to investigate at these boys' house. And they had found, like a shallow grave in the backyard, or like a little bit by the yard or whatever. And they said that it was from when their dog died. Okay, so the police didn't believe that, and they continued to search the land, and like a little ways away from that same area, a ways from the house, that's when they found Ben, which is the boy that has gotten killed. Okay, and here's something from his father. The victim's father, Ben's father, says, "My son is loved." Ben lived with his father in Randall, and his father, Benjamin Eastman, sat in the front row Monday during the suspect's court appearance. "I wanted them to look at me. I wanted them to look me in the eye. I wanted to look them in the eye," the father told the outlet. Ben's father told the outlet that Ben was a joyful, happy teenager, and the two enjoyed camping, fishing, and dirt biking together. Ben's father said, "There are evil people out there. I don't know what makes them tick. I don't want to know. I'm loved, and my son was loved, and that's all I'm about." According to local station KIRO7, hundreds gathered for a vigil at the White Pass Junior and Senior High School in Randall. Principal Chris Shoemaker said it was fitting the service began in the gym because Ben loved sport so much and was always in the gym. Ben and his family were fans of the Miami Dolphins, and during the vigil, the family released aqua and orange balloons, representing the Dolphins team colors, the outlet reports. This is such a heartbreaking story. And like I said, it is very important to make people aware, whether it's another teenager, a young adult, or someone that has kids. I'm sure that there's a mixture of all of those watching this video, or that's going to see this video, or that's just going to hear about the story. And it's very important because everybody that we think is our friend is not our friend. It's a lot of people out here that have very cruel intentions. And, this is how, I don't even understand. I really don't understand how it gets to this. I just don't. I don't understand how you can grow up with someone, how you can be friends with someone, and then turn around and do all of this to them. It's one thing to have an argument with a friend, want to get just, want to act a certain way, or, do something to get even, or whatever like that. But what's up with all these kids killing their friends? I just don't get it. It's like they have no respect for life, for their own or for anyone else's. And it's like they just don't realize or even think, of what they're doing. I just don't get it. I don't understand what type of generation is going on, but this new generation, you know, is they're killing each other off. And if they're not careful, it's not going to be anybody left. It's not going to be a whole lot of them left if they just keep doing this. I mean, the numbers are getting higher and higher every day of all the children and young adults that are dying senselessly. And it's so sad. And my heart just goes out to this family who has lost their son. I don't know him. All I know is a picture. But he's a handsome young man. And, he seems to be very well-rounded. And he looks intelligent. He looks like he had a lot going for him. And he looks like he enjoyed life. And he was just living life and enjoying being a teenager. And his quote-unquote friends took that away from him in the blink of an eye. And the way that his death went, I can't even imagine how his parents must be taking this, and the rest of his family and friends and just people that loved him. I can't even imagine. It just absolutely disgusts me that anyone would treat someone like this. Someone that is supposed to be your friend. I just don't get it. What was the point of doing all this to this boy? Let me play this. This is so sad. I pray for this family who is going to have to, go up against a trial, and, and they're going to need a lot of strength at that time. And, my prayers are definitely with them. And I hope and pray that these boys that did this to him, I hope that they get the maximum sentence, death penalty. Death penalty would be great. How about that? Let them have the fear that this young man had, because, I'm sure that at some point in time he was alive. He knew what was happening to him. And, these boys that did this to him, they deserve the same thing in this matter. But since they can't do the same things that they did to him, death penalty would be great. Eye for an eye. It's absolutely terrible. But y'all, I just wanted to make everyone aware, if you're not aware yet, that the ones that smile in our face, and the ones that you hang out with, and the ones that you think are so close to you and that are just such your wonderful friends, are not always what they seem to be. And you got to be careful, because obviously by just reading this one article and look at all of the other instances that I've showed y'all, there's so many people out here that are losing their lives behind their friends. And you got to be careful, because you never know when someone is plotting on you behind your back. So thank you for listening. I will talk to y'all later. If y'all want to send me anything, you can feel free to do so on my email, or you can add me on Facebook and send whatever you like through Messenger. Until the next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great night. I love y'all.